This is Blake Knierim, and I'm the woodworker, and today we will be building a push stick for a joiner. You could use it on the table saw for bigger pieces, but it's not going to fit between the table saw and the blade if you have a thin piece, because this is how wide it's going to be. So now that I have all my pieces cut, which is this piece of plywood, thin plywood, cut to about 2.5 inches and about 3¼ inches long. Then I have this rectangle piece of 1/2 inch plywood that I've drilled a hole in and rounded the edges over. And the height is about 3 3/8, and the length from here to the point is about 6 5/8. And I've cut an angle on here just to give it some better profile, and cut at angles here and here to give it more comfortable in your hand, and you can hold it with your finger if you wanted, or hold like this to push. So in order to make this, and then I have a 2x4 that I squared up, that the final size is 3 1/4 by 6.5 inches long, and it's just a 2x4, so it's 1.5 inches thick. So now that we have all our pieces, all we're going to need for this project is the pieces. I am using wood glue and a couple clamps. So for how I'm going to make this, I'm going to first set this in the back about 1/4 inch down, so you can get some grab on your workpiece that you want to push through. And this doesn't have to be square at all. But if you make it too long, then if you have really thin pieces, it's not going to work good. But if you make it too short, you're not going to get enough grip on it. But if you make it about there, 1/4 inch or so, that will work good. So now I'm just going to put some glue here, and you can use your piece that you're going to glue, and I just scrape it with the edges to get it around, maybe a little more. And now I'll place it where I would like it. It does not have to be square, but you can make it square if you want, or just eyeball it. So now that I have my overhang, actually it's about equal, so it doesn't matter what side I use, I can clean up my glue squeeze out. I just use my finger to rub it into the cracks. Then wipe your finger off on a paper towel. Okay, so now that we have that, I'll go ahead and put a clamp on that. And this one's just barely big enough. Just one clamp will do, okay? So now we have that clamped up. Now it's ready for our push piece, which is going to look or be just like this. And just roughly center this in the middle of your stock. You could cut a dado if you wanted to put it in a dado, but I'm not going to. So now we'll just put a bead of glue on here. And I'm also going to be having tip of the weeks. So every week I'll put a woodworking tip up. And you can just use a pencil or whatever you want to spread it around. And I'm going to have a lot of glue squeeze out, but that's okay. Okay. So now we can put our piece on our board. Just eyeball it down the center. Looks pretty good to me. And now find a way to clamp it. It's a little tricky since we have the angle on there. And I can use this clamp for here. So please like and subscribe. I don't know if this is going to work. Here, I have an idea. Take this bigger clamp. There, that works. Okay. Well, now, that's putting too much pressure there. I might put a couple screws in the end of this later on, but the handle, you shouldn't need any. And plus, you don't really want to put screws in the bottom, because then if this hit the planer or whatever you're putting it through, that could hit the screws heads. But if you do, I would sink them about 3/4 to a 1/2 inch in the wood. So that's how you make your push stick. And when it is all dried, you can use it on your joiner or whatever you would like. So please like and subscribe. Thanks.